Hey friends and welcome. I know you love ideas for using your paper scraps. We want to get the most out of those beautiful papers in our collection, right? Today I'm going to share 4 card ideas with 4 different ways to use paper scraps to make beautiful cards. So I hope you'll stick around and watch. At the end we'll chat about life like usual, so I hope you'll be here for that as well. Let's get started. I have this beautiful new paper pack called Woven Textures that I've been using a lot, and I've been ending up with a lot of scraps from it. So that was the paper I decided to use to start with for today's cards. So what I did, I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and I covered the entire thing with strips of paper, just as you can see. Now I've cut it in half. I've already started to create the cards with the other half, but we are going to start with this half right here. One little tip for placing your strips and your scraps onto a piece of cardstock or paper is play around with which adhesive you like to use best. I used glue for this. Sometimes I use tape, but I decided to use glue because it gives you a little wiggle room as you're trying to place your scraps where you want them. Now, I did not overlap my scraps when I put them on here, but you can. You can definitely overlap if you want to. So, what we are going to do with this piece right here is cut it down into several other pieces. And actually, let me show you this card first. This is the most basic one that I created. So I'll show it to you first, and then we're going to start working on the next few. So for this one, all I did was cut a piece of that measured 4.25 by 5.25, I believe. And I use that as my background. So the bundle I'm using to decorate all of these today, I am loving. It's super cute. It is called Terrific Toadstools. I love a stamp set that has coordinating punch, and this one does, because it's so quick and easy to finish our cards and get those cute pieces punched out with a punch versus a die. So that's the bundle I've used. You can see I used the cute little greeting popping up to say hi, added the cute little bug on top of this mushroom over here. So here is the first card idea. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to use this piece for a couple of different things. Going to bring a punch in here. This is called the Heartfelt Hexagon Punch. I've been using it a lot. And I am going to punch several times through this with this punch. I thought about using a circle punch. I love circle punches. I use them a lot. I decided to be a little different, and I thought this would be a nice shape. So this makes me think of one thing to point out. So you may notice on my piece that I didn't go all the way to the corners. It gets a little tricky to cover all the corners with little tiny pieces. So I didn't worry about that. But as you're putting your pieces on, you want to try and get glue or adhesive over as much of the surface as possible, because what just happened here may happen. So I must not have had adhesive on this little piece, and now I'm sticking it on upside down. It goes the other way. So as you cut them apart, you may have little pieces like this pop off. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so I have these 3 pieces. I'm going to do one other thing with the rest of this. I'm going to trim this down to right about here. Since I have my trimmer on screen, I'll mention this. I get a lot of questions about the lines that I've put on the base. I've put these on to make it easier to cut my card bases and my card mats. If you want details about that, I will put a link in the video description below. I will also link to some other scrap card ideas if you want to take a look at some more of them. Now what I'm going to do is just cut this into strips of different sizes. So here's one that's 1 inch wide. We'll do one that is 3/4 of an inch wide. We'll do an even narrower one here. And we'll do one more. Okay. Now let's see what we are going to make with these. So let's work on the one first that we're going to use these strips for. So I have already created the background for this card. You can see I've stamped those adorable mushrooms in 2 different colors. I used basic beige and crumb cake. And what I'm going to do is place these over here on the left side. I wanted to just use several different scraps, and you can see I do have little tiny pieces coming off. If you put glue over the entire surface of your cardstock, it would probably keep the little tiny pieces from not being attached if you want to try it that way. But I wanted to use several strips. I think I may just use these 3. And then what I'm going to do over top is to add this mushroom. So I think we're going to stick with 3. So we'll scoot these off to the side. I'll put some adhesive on the backs of these. I think we'll use some glue again. That gives me some wiggle room. I love this multi-purpose glue. It's very sticky, so you don't want it to ooze out from under the edges of things, but because it's so sticky, I can place it on quickly and not have to hold it in place very long, and it holds itself. So I am just going to offset these some. I'll move this one down. I'll bump this one up. So as I'm doing this, clearly the colors I chose for this are very, you know, we're working with neutrals, but you could think about different card ideas with bright colors and all different colors. You can do some really fun things with these scrap card ideas. So now that I have that on there, we will put this, another heartfelt hexagon. We'll put this on right here. I'm going to attach this large mushroom. Now I will mention on this mushroom, the punch punches out the top of it, but because I chose this extra large base, I had to cut that one out by hand. And here is our little greeting. Pop it up to say hi. For the greetings, I used a nice punch I really like that does nice ends, called the Happy Labels Pick-a-Punch. So you'll see several examples with that. If you're interested in any of the products I'm using, there are links in the video description below. So here's this one. I'll add a few sequins here in a minute, I think. But let's move on to the next one. Let's see what we're going to do with those punches we created. Here they are. So what I'm going to do is, one, spread out. These 2 have more gray, so I'm going to spread them out a little bit. I think we'll do a pattern a little bit like this. So what I like to do to not forget where I'm going to put each of my pieces is just leave them in place and flip them over right where they're at. Put some tape on each end. And now, one at a time, I can flip them back over. That way I get my spacing the way I want it to be. Put this one up here. And this one down a little further, spaced out. Now we have some super cute mushrooms that I created. And for these, I'm going to pop these up. I have them on some dimensionals. For these, I punched the top out with the punch, and then this I just punched out from a piece of plain cardstock. Put this cute little purple one up here. That color is Petunia Pop. Here's one in Lost Lagoon. And I have my greeting prepped and ready that says, "You are magical." Isn't that cute? I really like this idea with using the punches in the background to cover a piece with those paper scraps and then punch out of it. You can use those punches for all kinds of things. Okay, last but not least, here is one more. So just like we can punch through that piece with all the different scraps on it, we can also die cut. And this is a fun die cutting technique right here that I've done with the Countryside Corners die set. to use 3 different dies and die cut, get them spaced properly and cut through all 3 at the same time. And here is what we are going to, now we can do a lot of different things with this. Let me show you a couple of options. So one, we could offset them and do kind of like a fun technique, kind of like that. When I started this, this was my plan, to remove the center one, and we are going to use those 2. So we're going to stick with that, and then I'll have that other piece I can use on another project. Since this is thin, we'll put some glue on here. And since my glue is out, we'll go ahead and just use it on this one as well. You can see I'm not using much of this at all. So we'll put that down in the center of the card. We'll put this one down next. And when you're doing this, you can decide if you want to align your scraps so that they are still lined up. See how this pattern is lining up with this. You can do it that way, or you can switch it up and do them the opposite way so they don't line up. So you get different effects depending on what you decide to do with that. Now I have prepped a couple more mushrooms, of course. And I'll bring in my greeting. So I want to keep in mind, this is the greeting I've prepped. And as I'm putting the mushrooms on, so these I used different colors of brown cardstock. And I embossed them with some white embossing powder. If you're not familiar with embossing, it's an amazing technique. I'm trying to get this turned so you can see the reflection, and I'm not sure it's working, but I have that raised texture with the white, which is just a really neat effect to add onto this. So I'll put this over top right here, aligning with the edge. Again, I use that Pick-a-Punch to create this cute little edge over here. And isn't that a sweet card? So let's add a couple of sequins and we will wrap this up and get started with our life chat for the day. So I think I'm going to add, I really like these basics sequins in the gold and copper and the brown. I believe the white ones are the ones I already used up here in the corner, but thought these colors would look nice. So I hope you can use these scrap card ideas. I know, like I said, we want to use as many of our supplies as possible as crafters. We just don't like to throw things away, right? We think, oh, I could use that for something. And we can use, you know, you can create all kinds of amazing projects from things that are reused or repurposed and our paper scraps like we have just seen here. So here are our 4 cards. I hope you can use these ideas on a project soon. So recently I had the chance to go to the Stampin' Up! Annual convention, which is called On Stage now. It was in Raleigh, North Carolina. And for the first time ever, I was so excited to have some of my team members going with me. So there were 8 of us total. It was a lot of fun. We rented an Airbnb. We all stayed together. It was a fantastic trip. And it inspired me for today's chat, which is our need for community. I feel like in the American culture, I think this is different a lot of places around the world, but here where most of us watching are living, our culture and some of the events of the last several years, I feel like have just taken away a lot of the sense of community. I think so many of us are lonely. And like, we really would love to have a good friend, or maybe we've even forgotten our need for community. So many people work from home now. We may not be involved in our communities. Even a lot of Christians don't go to church. Like there's so many things, but I don't know about you. Do you ever notice this? Like if I just spend some time with a friend or get to talk to somebody that I might not even consider a friend, but just like another woman that I get to chat with for a while, or get out and go to an event at church or a school, a sporting event, or whatever it is. And I think it's so important to get out of, am I the only one? I know I'm not the only one. That too much time in here, too much time with my thoughts, just hanging out with my thoughts can lead to things that are not ideal. And that time with other people, that time, whether we're talking about what we've been doing lately or hard stuff we've been going through or just seeing and talking to people, like, just gets me out of my headspace for a while and brings me up a notch. So my question for you is, are you surrounded by good community? I feel very thankful. I'm not going to say I have like a ton of close friends. I don't think we're meant to have a ton of close friends. I feel like the world makes us think we're supposed to have all these friends. I don't really feel like that's the way it's supposed to be. I think we're supposed to have like one or two or three good friends and some other support people around us. And I feel like that works. It's really helping me lately to be surrounded by lots of fellow believers. We've been getting more involved at our church, which we've been going to just for a little over a year now. So we're starting to get to know some more people there. And through what I do here, even though I don't get to meet a lot of you in person, the comments that you share with me have been really encouraging to me. And we can build a community online as well. But I do still think those in-person relationships are still really important. So if you feel like you need some community around you and you feel like you don't have that, I know it can be really hard to like, how do I just go find a friend? I would suggest praying about it. I know some of us have health problems and can't really get out, and that can be really difficult. Maybe you go out on a limb and you reach out to somebody, and I think a lot of we can sit at home and be like, I can't believe that somebody hasn't reached out to me to check in and see if I'm okay because they know I'm going through this thing or whatever. You know what? I think sometimes we just need to reach out, even if we're the one that needs it and we feel like the other person should be reaching out to us. Sometimes we just need to take that step and be like, hey, like, I'm struggling, or I need someone to talk to, or I really could use fill in the blank. But think about community, friends. We need this to get through this life, to get through this crazy world we live in. And I'm so glad that you can be a part of my community here with my card making videos. Thanks for watching along. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you'll be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to hand make with love.